I want any sensible person out there to listen to this. And this is from the military. And the statement says, any terrorist group that is destabilizing this country must be hunted down. I repeat, any terrorist group that is destabilizing this country must be hunted down. And that is from the so-called military. I want to say it in full earshot of the world. I repeat, I want to say it in full earshot of the world. And whoever knows them should cut this very clip and then send it to them. That any soldier or a platoon of soldiers sent to the eastern ground to kill our people, to maim them, to torture them, and possibly to equally desecrate our shrines, that eastern ground will be their cemetery.
Hello, my great and wonderful people. We welcome you once again to our today's episode of this program. And today we get a lot of videos for our team. We're going to be saying one quickly review to you concerning the things we're going to be saying that happen right now for us at this country, Nigeria. Just as you rightly see that video from the introduction of this broadcast, we're going to be with the receive from these southeasterners, how ABC it comes to send a strong message across to some certain informations when ABC is there for the hiding place concerning the activities or the plans of the Nigeria military. Although I would leave you to listen to the total video by yourself, to listen to the full information from your own mouth. And after that very one, we equally get other videos when we will review to you one after the other. And before then, I want to quickly beg you for one favor. Help us to like this video, because the more you like this video, the more YouTube they recommend them to people. Now their own policy now be that very one. Thank you so much for your support. All right, watch this one first. We'll come back for more.
I want any sensible person out there to listen to this. And this is from the military. And the statement says, any terrorist group that is destabilizing this country must be hunted down. I repeat, any terrorist group that is destabilizing this country must be hunted down. And that is from the so-called military. And then when they were talking, they were making particular references to the ESN. And I was asking myself that these people have ulterior motive, as they have always been having. It is not today. For a long time, it has always been like that. Last week or so, the Commissioner of Police deployed to Anambra State also made a very nasty and unprofessional statement that if it's going to take killings and stand to preserve Anambra, so be it. Hope you've heard that now. Now you see these people, they always have this hatred, this animosity in their hearts. That whenever it comes to the southern Nigeria, particularly in the east, understand, they feel like going there to massacre the entire people, wipe them off the surface of the earth. But today I want to say it in full earshot of the world. I repeat, I want to say it in full earshot of the world. And whoever knows them should cut this very clip and then send it to them. That any soldier or a platoon of soldiers sent to the eastern ground to kill our people, to maim them, to torture them, and possibly to equally desecrate our shrines, that eastern ground will be their cemetery. It is going to be the very punctuation of their existence on earth. Enough is enough. I do not know those you are going to go and kill in Anambra State. If they are not my kinsman, the rest. You go there, catch anybody on the street, frame him up, and then do whatever you wish with that person. But I'm telling you that if any attempt is sent, understand, is made whatsoever to kill our people again, understand, that very eastern ground is going to swallow them all up. It is going to be the very end of their existence on earth.
All right, my great and wonderful people, I believe say una sabi this very man. Yes, now one of the Biafra soldier. Yes, when they say they reside outside the shore of Nigeria. I think most of the time we don't bring a own video when it supports Biafra. All right, now the only one thing when it make us carry this video, not because of the man per se, but rather the plan when it is in the review concerning the military, which is the Army of Nigeria. I beg listen, Nigeria military, this message particularly they go to una. We respect una job and we respect una own commitment to make sure say peace and order they maintain for inside this country concerning lives and properties of Nigerians. But for this very matter, I think this issue of this our southeast and eastern security network, it don't they go too much. Yes. I believe say a lot of better fights dey to fight to put this country in order than for una they go after innocent soul or because of say they just send una. I believe say yes, if truly you mean well for this nation and for the betterment of our children and the future of our children, may we fight a good fight when it be say it dey worthy to fight. And we get a lot, when I say a lot, more than enough to fight. Boko Haram still dey there as we dey talk now. Banditry dey there. And na because of all these insecurity issues, na it make all of us dey suffer issue of food today. When they say yes, we not dey fit dey buy food stuff again because our farmers not dey go farm again. The few ones when they say they even see they go, all of them they pay ransom for them to even farm. So tell me why it be say all this problem would dey our hand as insecurity agencies, and we'll talk say now people when they say that they fight for their own freedom, now it matter most to each and every one of you. I beg you, now beg with the beg. May we concentrate our energy for things when it be say if they rewarding. When it be say our children yet or born will come and they will see una record for the fight when it be say una fight for this nation, they will be proud of una. Yes, now waiting we want na that, and now waiting una swear and oath for this very country na that. All right, now so talking concerning this matter, we'll leave you to share your own opinion with us in the comment section concerning that very one, even as we leave you to listen to this other video when we will receive from Barrister Dele Farotimi. And this one, a video when we say in take come outside to set some kind of history in order concerning society things when it be say it happened some time ago for this country. When it be say this politician, they try everything possible to wipe away from our own memories in order for us not to know the truths, where will they go and where will for they come. All right, listen to this one from the mouth of Barrister Dele Farotimi. I'll come back from more.
Tell the children the truth. Tell the children the truth. Come on now. Tell the children the truth. 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 Come on now. Tell the children the truth. Tell the children the truth. Good morning, everybody. The refrain from Bob Marley's song, Babylon System, Tell the Children the Truth, is the title for my sermon, if you will, this morning. And what birthed this? On the 7th of July, I made a post. It was the day MKO Abiolo was killed in government custody in Abuja. So I made a post. I said something along the line of how it is a tragedy to die for a people devoid of memory. It's a talk that's been on my mind for a while because I I have lived long enough to have witnessed a few inflection points in the history of Nigeria. And I'm also a student of history, so I have thought of all the people who died in the student struggles of the 80s and 90s. I witnessed them. I was there. So I sometimes remember them. Some of them persons that were known to me personally, like someone like Shonowo in Lasso, the first of the many students who were killed in the struggles in Lasso. Only Shono, he was just an innocent bystander. He died, you know. I remember names from history. Adekwegba, I think that one was killed in UI or something like that back in the 70s, 80s. The Nigerian state has at different points murdered different people, known and unknowns. And I sometimes, these things cross my mind and I ask myself repeatedly, maybe because of the cause that I have set or I've had set before me, the choices that I have made in relation to my own life. I look at these persons who have died in pursuit of a better Nigeria, the young men and women who were killed at Lekki Toll Gate, at different points in the history of Nigeria, the different persons who had been murdered, the persons I witnessed murdered in November 1993 when Abacha was taking over, myriads of countless numbers who were murdered on Ikorodu Road, on Badagry Expressway, people who were buried on in unmarked graves. I think about all of these persons and I sometimes ask myself, like, seriously, this is a country where nobody remembers. We are deliberately forgetful. The system is designed to make sure that you do not remember the sacrifices of any heroes. They want you to heroify crooks, beatification of area boys, as the old man once said. They want you to have no lofty ideals to look up to, so they make sure you don't remember these heroes. So when Abiola's anniversary came by and I saw how silent everywhere was was much later in the day, I made that post. How it is a tragedy to die for a people devoid of memory. And then there came the storm of reactions. And I watched different persons post different reactions across the spectrum, from persons who profess to be obedient, who had a lot to say about how Abiola died for his personal ambition, some Yoruba nation people. A lot of people had a lot of negative things to say about MKO Abiola. The general thinking is, well, he started the Ronu legacy, quote and unquote. So it was generally very negative. The only ones I reacted to or responded to were those who were so stupid that they couldn't help but to be ignorantly disrespectful, not only of the man, but even of myself who had made the post. But I decided that this weekend, we're going to have to tell ourselves some truths. And if your friends cannot tell you the truth, who is better placed to tell you the truth? I have no dog in this fight. But it is critical for me that you get the truth so that you do not continue to make the same strategic and tragic error that we have all collectively made over time, and by which error we have collectively strengthened the fetters of oppression and enslavement. So, what do I mean? There is a need to tell the truth, because the thing about the truth is that it actually does set you free if you want to be free. It is only when you have confronted the truth and told yourselves those truths and embraced those truths that you can find common ground, and by then you can then navigate your way out of the mess that we are in. But we live in a country where there is a commitment to the erection of lies. The system itself is committed to promoting lies. How did we get to the point where just a generation later, the Nigerian has forgotten, largely forgotten, the true meaning and essence of June 12th? How? How did we get to that point? How did the system achieve this task of ensuring that it is the slaves themselves that have perpetuated the myths by which they have been kept enslaved? This is of extreme importance, and I shall try my best to unpack it. So keep your offense, keep your arguments, we'll come to them and we'll deal with them. But let us deal firstly with the facts. The most dangerous thing that happens in a space is when the truth becomes subjective. Unfortunately for us as a people, this is where we have gotten to. June 12th should not be subjective. The facts are clear and established. And I think it is very critical that we first of all understand very clearly that the person of Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola must be clearly distinguished from the ideals of June 12th. I read all the libelous nonsense, and I've listened to a few men for whom I have a lot of respect, who have equally have a lot of horrible things to say about Chief MKO Abiola. I did not know him as a man. I only knew him as a public persona with which I engaged as a young man, as a Nigerian. And that was a persona with whom a lot of Nigerians engaged. He had a relatable story of grass, abject grass to grace to tell. Yeah? Fela had his song ITT. Yes. There were always rumors of associations with military coup and military bandits. Yes. Yeah, he was most definitely a beneficiary of the Nigerian system. That is what it was. But the Nigerian people knew this. They were well aware of this. They knew Chief MKO Abiola, what's and all. I must say that the recent allegations of his having been associated with drug trafficking is pretty new to me. It wasn't something that was out there when we were growing up, and I wasn't exactly a baby, I was in my 20s. But I do remember that as part of the effort to delegitimize his victory and the mandate of the people expressed in their sovereign will at the ballot on the 12th of June 1993, the military, employing the genius of Comrade Uche Chukwumerije, brought up a whole lot of stuffs. There may or may not be substance to the allegations of drug trafficking, but I never heard it. It wasn't even whispered. It certainly was not an issue in the election of June 12, 1993. Nigerians across the length and breadth of Nigeria, using what was known as Option A4, which 1,000 Mahmoud Yakubu could not have influenced. IREF did not malfunction. We all saw it in broad daylight. The Nigerian people, from the rainforests of the south to the beginning of the Saharas in Borno to Kano, Tofa's home state, Moshood, Kashimawo, Olawale Abiola got the mandate of the Nigerian people. He won in the land of the Igbos. He won in the South-South. He won in the Southwest. He won across the length and breadth of Nigeria. Maybe he was a drug kingpin. Maybe. Maybe he sponsored coups. Maybe. It didn't matter to the Nigerian people. What's and all, they voted for him. They expressed their sovereign will. The people who thwarted our sovereign will, I voted on that day. The people who thwarted our sovereign will in justification of the evil they have done, they put out a whole lot of lies, but at least stuff that did not matter when they were clearing him to run for the presidency, which he won. He won. All these allegations did not matter. The people expressed their sovereign will, but the sovereign will of the people was treated with contempt by military bandits, the same crooks who gave you what you are calling a constitution today. They employed Uche Chukwumerije. He was yesterday's Lai Mohammed. Uche Chukwumerije was yesterday's, what was that? I think that is busy lying in Aso Rock these days. Uche Chukwumerije was Bayo Ononuga yesterday. He was the one who drafted and created narratives on behalf of Abacha and the military junta. It was necessary to demonize Abiola in order to delegitimize his mandate. You know what else Uche Chukwumerije did? He ethnicized the whole thing. It became a Yoruba mandate instead of the pan-Nigerian mandate that it was. Without dividing you as a collective, it wasn't possible to devalue the mandate that you gave. So without realizing it, the Nigerian people fell for the trick of ethnicization of June 12. It became redefined, essentially, if not for the works of the likes of Ndubuisi Kanu, if not for the likes of Otta Nwankwo, who ensured that they stood, the likes of Ngige, and many more, who stood in rebuke of Uche Chukwumerije and his ilks, who were working for the military, trying to make sure that a wedge was driven between the Yoruba and the Igbo. They succeeded to a very large extent. Part of the work they did is what the system is still harvesting today, which made some of you, in a self-abnegatory manner, ignore the fact that regardless of whatever reservations you might have, whether that is genuine or received, about the person of Moshood Kashimawo, Olawale Abiola, he had the mandate of the people. Those who revoked his mandate did not do so because he had done something that any one of them is not doing, or something that they are not beneficiaries of. And that is why even after Abacha had died, even after they had killed Abiola and made Obasanjo president, Obasanjo ensured that the memories of Abiola was never preserved. Naming Unilag as Moshood Abiola University, if it was done when Obasanjo became the president, Unilag students would have celebrated the renaming. But they did a good job of eroding his memory. Lies were erected on his memory. Tinubu, more than anybody else, profited off the back of the memory of Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola. But even he is actually a taint on the legacy of Abiola because he has misappropriated that legacy and built his corrupt legacy on top of that legacy. So when you sit down today and you are hearing people disparaging the memory of Moshood Abiola, delegitimizing their own citizenship and sovereignty by doing the work of those who had worked to annul the election, I voted in that election. In the history of Nigeria, that is the most transparent election that has ever been held. And it was probably the first time the people spoke as one. But it was also probably the first time where the Nigerian ruling class, in recognition of its own dangers, because if the people's will had prevailed, we would have had a succession of government brought to power by the will of the people. If you know exactly how close 2023 is to 1993, you would be shocked at exactly how silly you are being by your work at delegitimizing the victory of Abiola. Like I said, I did not know the man as a person. But Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola did not have any monies forfeited to any drug agency anywhere in the world. He was not indicted by any court anywhere in the world. He held no government position. Yes, he took advantage of the system, like each and every one of us, including you, even if you are a carpenter. That is the system we have all built. But it sparked hope. Yes, it sparked our imagination. It made us believe that a better Nigeria was possible. And let me tell you something, comrade who is busy waiting for a saint to come around to come and do it. No saint is coming from anywhere. Whoever is going to save us will be one of us. There is no revolution anywhere in the world where it is the victims that have led. It has always been members of the oppressive class that have emerged and been supported by the victims to gain utopia. Anywhere it has ever happened that a revolution has succeeded, there is always, or there are always members of the oppressive class. So maybe Abiola is all those things that they are saying that he was. It's possible. I don't know. But what's and all, we voted him. We embraced him. Yeah, we voted him. We embraced him. And that's the difference between Abiola and the person who is currently occupying Aso Rock. We didn't vote him. So when you unwittingly equate Abiola with the one that we did not vote, who forced his way into power and who is already on his path to absolute dictatorship with the suppliant judiciary that he has and the Supreme Court that will do as they are told, when you begin to equate the two, you're actually cutting your nose in order to spite your face. Abiola was never a Yoruba Ronu person. Check his businesses. Check his businesses. Abiola had people from all across Nigeria. He had no discrimination. Just as he didn't discriminate in his bed, he didn't discriminate in his loving. He loved each and every one. He was no saint. But we were not voting for a saint. We were voting for someone who would take us from where we are. In fact, the mess wasn't as bad as this one 31 years ago. He sparked our imagination and made us believe that it was possible. Just as we believed that Obi could take us there, not necessarily because he's a saint or because he's some Messiah, but it sparked our popular imagination and we believed. But the system felt threatened by the fact that we were able to express our sovereignty. And in his feeling threatened, it expressed its veto power. And then they began to couch it in the terms of ethnicity. It was Fulanis doing it. Is it Fulani that is out there today? The people who are yesterday's victims are today's terrorists. That is what has happened. So when you sit down there and you begin to help them to legitimize evil by delegitimizing your own sovereignty, you must understand that there are correlations between the delegitimization of June 12th with today.
All right, my great and wonderful people. I believe say you don't listen to the whole thing and equally understand now the reason why it be say these people intentionally scribe history from our curriculum. Before now, people did study history as their own professional career, but today it not be like that again. You ask yourself question. These people that they know what that they do, they not want make we know where for they come, or may our children know what happen in time past in order for them not to see any blame. But in all of these their manipulations and deception, we want to assure them, say, no matter how they try to hide fire, smoke will definitely reveal its identity or a whereabouts. All right, now so talking concerning this matter, we'll leave you to share your own opinion with us in the comment section because at the right time, we will definitely get them right, whether they like them or not. Share your own opinion with us in the comment section, even as we draw the line here. We'll see you again when we see you. Remember, we love you all. Bye-bye.